Hey everyone, welcome to our show Timeout. I'm your host Trey with my co-host, my brother Noah Avant. And this is a two-man webcast that discusses sports and entertainment. Before we begin, don't forget to like, follow, and subscribe to the Boca Raton Tribune on all social media platforms. Just look for at Boca Tribune on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. You can also follow the show on Instagram at the_timeout7. Huddle up, it's time for a timeout. All right, Noah, the Heat have struggled this season. They are 6-11, and Jimmy Butler hasn't played in nearly a month due to safety protocols. What are your thoughts on the Heat this season?
I mean, you hit the hammer on the head. I mean, when any team that would not necessarily have their primary scoring option, you're gonna expect them to see. You should expect to see some type of struggles, to say the least. It definitely hurts now since the season is abbreviated. Instead of having an 82 game season, you have a 72. It's painful to watch. It's very painful to watch, but I'm hoping that Jimmy can come back sooner than later, and we can get this show back on the road. Because as of right now, we are not in the playoff picture. Bam's been playing phenomenal. He had a 41-point game in a loss against the Nets. He didn't play too bad the other night against the Nuggets. But at the end of the day, it's really Jimmy being gone is showing the lack of our depth. It's showing a lack of depth in our scoring, in our scores at least.
Yeah, and then on top of that, we don't have Tyler Hero.
Yeah, he's out with neck spasms.
Yeah.
So it's just like, like Duncan Robinson, you're really not showing like that you could really be that guy when everybody else is not there. And it's showing like, is he really worth, that possible extension next year, or do we just need to go ahead and move in a different direction? I mean, he's a good basketball player, but at the end of the day, Gordon can only do so much. Bam can only do so much. This is where you come in.
Mm-hmm.
So that's just my thoughts on that.
Bradley Beal, he's frustrated in Washington right now. And the Heat have been linked to him. So I have the Sixers and the Clippers and whatnot, but the Heat have been linked to him for a long time. Do you see a trade happening anytime soon?
I'd hope. I really do. Just on the grounds of with Brad, Bill, and Bam, and then you add Goran back in it, and then you add Goran in that lineup. Tyler Hero, Jimmy eventually he comes back.
Tyler would get traded for Bradley though.
I mean, well, yeah, odds are. So scratch Tyler. I even throw Duncan in there. Truly, because what good has he been doing for us? And if we're being honest, they're gonna want Tyler and Duncan and Precious more than likely.
Correct. Agreed.
So at the end of the day, I don't think they'd have the trust that they want Bill. Unless we're gonna get, I'd take Precious. I let if we're gonna get Archie Mora. If we're gonna get that guy, yeah, I'll take him. Yeah, we'll take that trade.
They wouldn't trade Hachimura. Like put it in a trade for Bill, they'd probably only give up Bill and maybe like a draft pick.
They'd have to give up more than that because of the cap space.
Like a second rounder. But then they wouldn't give up Hachimura because he's a pretty good person for their future.
Yeah, but that's why you're getting Tyler Hero and you're getting Duncan Robinson. And you're getting Precious.
But they could argue that Hachimura would be better than Precious or Hachimura would be better than Duncan. They might argue that.
But if you look at how Precious is playing and look at his potential, a lot of these GMs wanted slept on him, but they're saying him and Bam have a lot of comparable attributes.
They do.
So it's either here nor there. But even if we keep Precious, that hurts them because they're still in our conference. And if they were smart, they try to get him too. But if not, we'll gladly keep him. I am not opposed to keeping him at all. But we need to start applying some pressure to get Brad Bill.
They could take Kendrick Nunn and Iguodala as well.
Yeah, that's fine. But we need to try to either get Victor at the deadline, or we need to get Brad Bill now. Because you see, in a recent interview at the post game, he was just like, are you frustrated? He said it's a sky blue. Like he's not even getting his hopes up of making the all-star team this year. Like, bro is really down bad because he's averaging damn near 30. 40 points a game just about. And what's happening? He's still losing. He dropped 60 and lost by 10.
Yeah.
Like, that's painful. I mean, I hate to talk down on my guy Russ, but Jesus, Russ, 163 shots, and you finally made 163 points.
That's sad.
That's pathetic.
That's really sad.
Pathetic. Now I like that. Now I will give him a little bit of credit in this sense. Other than Brad Bill, who is he really throwing the ball to? Who can he really pass the ball to or rely on him to score? Like, let's be realistic there. From that aspect. But outside of that, like, who else?
They ain't really got no threats other than those two.
So, it's just one of those things that we'll see. I mean, for now, moving on to another subject, MVP race. A lot of people are favoring LeBron. I think LeBron could really end up winning 2 awards this year. Defensive Player of the Year and MVP. What do you think about that?
The Lakers are one of the best teams in the league right now. And LeBron's having a great season, but I feel like players like Kevin Durant having an even greater season. I mean, the Nets are not doing. The Nets are okay right now, but Kevin Durant has played phenomenal. Like, he's been outstanding. Torn Achilles, and if the NBA had a comeback player of the year award like the NFL, he'd definitely win it because he's playing phenomenal. And Embiid, the Sixers have the best record in the East, and he's averaging prime Shaq numbers, but he's averaging like 28 and 12. So, I mean, I don't know. I don't think LeBron.
Can I throw a dark horse at you?
Go ahead.
A couple of them. Luka Doncic.
Luka's
and
playing
Nikola Jokic, the Joker.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, let's really talk about that. I mean, really, you could even talk about Dame Lillard.
You could talk about Donovan Mitchell.
I don't know. I can't put Don Mitchell in the MVP conversation.
You're like Shaq, huh?
What do you mean? I mean, bro, he could do more.
He could do more, but you act like the Jazz are trash. The Jazz have one of the best records in the league.
That's very valid, but I'm picking Damian Lillard over him.
Well,
all day, every day. Damian Lillard is averaging 28.7.
I don't know if you can see it, but it says 4-man race for MVP. That's crazy. We're talking about that right now. All right, it says Kevin Durant, Joel Embiid, Nikola Jokic, and LeBron James.
Yeah, for sure.
So out of those 4, who do you think is going to win? From right now, who do you think is going to win out of those 4?
LeBron James, 100%.
LeBron?
Bro, what LeBron is doing at 36 years old.
LeBron's been the best player. LeBron's been the best player in the league for a really long time, and he's won so many awards. The only reason he hasn't won more is because people are tired of voting for him. They don't want to give him his props, and I don't like that. LeBron should have like 10 MVPs, just like Jordan should have like 10 MVPs. But they're like, I mean, we're tired of voting for him. Let's give somebody else a chance,
Yeah, I mean, if we're being honest, he should have been tied Jordan for regular season MVP. Should have been tied Jordan with Defensive Players of the Years. This is the whole. That's why, like, whenever people bring up that Michael Jordan versus LeBron conversation, I'm like, okay, let's really call it what it is here. When you have a guy who goes to the NBA championship, the NBA finals for 10, how many years straight? It was like 10 years?
10 years.
10 years.
Well, he missed what's it called? He missed 2019. He missed 2019.
Oh, he missed 1 year. Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. He missed
he's been to 10 finals though.
10 finals appearances. He misses 1 year. So put things in perspective. With LeBron, the last time LeBron missed the finals prior to the 2019 season, you were in elementary school. I was in middle school.
Mm-hmm.
That's a long time. That is a very long time. So, like, you have to really give credit where credit's due. That's why I like when people talk about the hardware, the trophies. Like, yeah, that's well and good. But when people get tired of seeing you win, and a lot of these awards are based on media, how the media portrays you, because if we're being honest, Brandon Ingram had a very good year, but you can't tell me Bam Adebayo was not the most improved player. You can't tell me that.
Mm-hmm.
You cannot sit up here and tell me that with a straight face. Bam was single-handedly one of the reasons why we made it to the finals.
Mm-hmm.
So you can't sit up here and say, "Oh yeah, definitely." You could even argue Luka Doncic. But Luka started out hot. So I mean, I really can't even give him that. Devontae Graham. I mean, there was a lot of guys that really were more deserving, in my opinion, over BI, because BI was always good, in my opinion. How do you improve from already being good? Like, oh, okay, he was good at it. He was good in LA. He's good in New Orleans. It was never a question of Brandon Ingram being a good basketball player in the NBA.
Mm-hmm.
So, taking it back, tying it back in with these awards, LeBron is the MVP. LeBron's been the MVP every year. And it's about time he got his respect. They got to give him his flowers. But to go back to your point about Donovan Mitchell and why Shaq's on his head, they compare him to Dwayne Wade. They say he has a feeling like Dwayne Wade.
I mean, yeah, his ceiling is up there.
Okay, so why are you not playing like that? Because if we being honest, if we are being 100% honest, if Rudy Gobert is not there, Mike Conley's not there to set you up, is Donovan Mitchell doing the stuff he's doing? The answer is no. That's the cold hard facts. That man, Donovan Mitchell, is good. He is so much better than what people give him credit for. But I cannot blame Shaq for getting on his head, because look at him. Is bro in the top 5 for scoring?
I think he is.
Is he number 5?
I don't know.
He should be number. If we're being completely honest,
I think he's averaging 24 points a game.
Dame is averaging 28.7. And in my opinion,
look where the Blazers are at in the standings.
Look at his team. Put Dame Lillard in the Utah Jazz jersey and tell me what happened. They just might be better than the Nuggets. They just might, and they might come close to being better than the Lakers.
Well, come close. I don't know about all that.
I'm being real, bro. Damian Lillard is playing at a whole different level. And let's be real. Damian's been doing this. Damian Lillard has been playing like a boss. Yeah. Damian Lillard has been doing this for a while now. But this is now, like I said, the media is now giving him that credit. The media is now giving him that type of attention. But now he's getting that type of notification, like that type of notoriety. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, no. Dame Lillard, best point guard in the league, in my opinion. He's better than that's me calling it how I see it. Yeah, you might have a disagreement. Best point guard in the league.
Right now?
Yeah. No, hands down.
Right now, in my opinion, I would have to go with Stephen Curry.
Curry?
No. I think Curry's the best point guard in the league right now.
Can't give you that. I can't agree with that.
That's fine.
I can't agree with that. I just can't. What that man Dame is doing, bro, is something serious, bro. And if they got Draymond Green, if the Portland Trailblazers managed to get Draymond Green, keep CJ McCollum,
bro, they wouldn't get Drake. That trade would never happen.
Hey, I'm just saying, like, bro, because I'm telling you, Dame and Draymond on one team.
Probably. Speaking of Draymond, you seen that exchange between Draymond and Anthony Edwards?
Hey,
it was funny.
Draymond's that type of player. I mean, if we're being honest, Draymond the type of player that would be drawing that Shaq.
Oh wait, Anthony Edwards
missed the layup. Sir. Yeah.
Draymond was like, "Yes, sir." Oh, we got the putback. Edwards was like, "Yes, sir." Draymond like, "Yes, sir." Edwards like, "Yes, sir."
Right.
That was funny.
Yeah, man. At the end of the day, I don't blame Shaq. I know we talked on it a little bit. Shaq needs to continue to keep digging in these players' butts. Stop being soft. This constructive criticism. You got a legend telling you, yo, you can. He's talking to you because he sees better in you. Take that as a compliment and keep going.
But what about all the stuff he was doing with Dwight Howard all these years? Dwight Howard wanted to
that, heard it, and put it in his game.
Dwight Howard, one of the best centers of all time, right? And you can't debate that he's not one of the best centers of all time. 4 Defensive Player of the Year awards, leading scorer, rebounder, and shot blocker in Magic history. He's top 10 center of all time.
Okay, but answer me this. If Shaquille O'Neal was on that Magic team that lost to the Lakers, they lost to the Lakers, what do you think? Do you think they at least win one game? They got swept by Kobe.
I mean, Shaq is better than Dwight Howard. I'm not saying Dwight Howard is better than Shaq.
That's what I'm saying. The reason why I can't give
so if you're not better than Shaq, you're not great.
Don't cut me off. Let me say my piece. Let me say my piece. The reason why I cannot give him that credit, you go to the Lakers to play with Kobe Bryant. Kobe doesn't want you there because you're soft. That's what he's soft. Nobody wants you there. You cannot be considered a top center of all time and you're Charmin. That's just not how it works. I'm sorry. I'm not gonna
that's personality. That's not stuff on the court.
He's soft on the court. When he played with LA, what happened?
Look at his stats. You talking
when
about
he played in LA,
you talking about a 1-year stint in LA.
Played in LA, what happened?
He didn't get along with Kobe.
Okay. When he went to Houston, what happened?
He played all right.
When you was with the Magic, you was the man.
Yeah, but then he had back injuries.
What 50 say? Man, homie. What are
he had back injuries.
What happened to you?
He had back injuries when he got to Houston.
Bro,
you trying to make it seem like he's not great.
Shaq had knee injuries.
You making it seem like he an average player.
Bro, Shaq had knee injuries and went to the finals. I don't want to hear that, bro. I'm not hearing that. I have no love for Dwight. None.
You're making it seem like Howard's.
None.
Bro, how you gonna look at me? How you gonna look at me, right? And say, how you gonna say an 8-time All-Star, 5-time All-NBA first team, 1-time All-NBA second team, 2-time All-NBA third team, 3-time Defensive Player of the Year, 4-time All-Defensive first team.
You said 3 times?
3-time Defensive Player of the Year, yeah. And then 1-time All-Defensive second team with some other accolades in there. How you gonna tell me, and an NBA champion, how you gonna tell me that player is not great?
Let's note that NBA championship. The reason why I can't give him great players win championship games. Fundamental, they're one of the main reasons why they won. So, he was not one of the main reasons why the Los Angeles Lakers beat the Miami Heat last year. So I'm pretty sure if he didn't play last year in the finals, they still would have beat us. That's right.
Yeah, they definitely. Okay. Shaq in Miami. Wait, hold on, bro. Hold on, fucking. So Shaq in Miami, right?
Okay.
When the Heat got to the finals.
Okay.
Shaq admitted himself he was trash in the finals. And guess who did all the work in the finals? Dwayne Wade.
For sure.
He carried Shaq in that final series. Just like LeBron carried Dwight Howard in the finals. So does Shaq have 3 rings instead of 4?
No. You want to know what the difference? You know what the difference is? Even if that's the case, Shaq still had that 3. Shaq still had 3 of them things.
All right, but your point is still negated though.
With it.
Your point is still negated though, because you just admitted that he still has 3 rings. So that makes it better than Dwight Howard. You make that. Wait, hold on. Wait, hold on.
Go ahead.
You said. So Shaq has 3 rings. That still makes him better than Dwight Howard. I'm not saying Shaq not better than Dwight Howard. Shaq is clearly better than Dwight Howard.
Yes.
But I'm also saying, I'm asking you, does his 4th ring not count because he was carried by D Wade?
No, I said, even if that's the case.
Answer the question.
Listen, I am answering your question.
Okay, go ahead.
I said, even if that is the case and you want to use that theory, he still had 3 of them with 3 MVPs to show for it.
But you're not answering the question.
I am.
So does the 4th ring count or not?
It does, because he still was hooping. He still had a double-double.
So is Dwight.
What was Dwight Howard's stat on? Wait, I don't think we got time for it. We got a commercial. We're going to continue this next week. Because I am telling you, Trey, Dwight Howard is not one of the greatest of all time. And if he is, he's top 15, top 20. He's down there at the end of the road. He's down there at the end of the line. He is not up there in the top 10. He's for sure not in the top 5.
Bro, you can't even name 5 cents. You can't even name 10 centers better than Dwight Howard.
We got a commercial, Trey.
Exactly. That's what I thought. All right.
Oh, I can, but we got a commercial, Trey. We had commercial
All
Trey.
right, that's what I thought.
Oh no, I know what it was.
You are watching Timeout with the. All right, all right. You're watching Timeout with the Avant Bros. If you enjoy the show, please click the share button to share the stream with all your friends. Also, don't forget to like, follow, and subscribe to the Boca Raton Tribune on all social media platforms: YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Just look for at Boca Tribune. You can also follow the show on Instagram at _timeout7. See you soon.
Information. If it exists in writing, we print it. If it exists online, we update it. If it exists on mobile, we notify. If it exists in video, we show it. If it exists in audio, we play it. In the past, the news had to wait for a paper to print for it to happen. Today, news happens in real time. It's analyzed, edited, and published immediately by us, your neighbors, and of course, you. Wherever you are, you write, edit, give opinions, share photos, and make the news happen. This is why a paper needs to be on print, on screen, and on your phone. Wherever you are, your news has its pulse in the community. The Boca Raton Tribune. We are much more than just a newspaper. We are your closest neighbor.
Welcome back, everyone. Moving on to the NFL, the Kansas City Chiefs will face the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in Super Bowl 55. Who you got, Noah?
My mind's telling me Tom. I ain't gonna quote them. They was gonna be on our heads.
Yeah, definitely.
Kelly. Nah, I'm gonna say Tom. Say Tom. But I would not be surprised if Mahomes pulled it off. But more than likely, it's gonna be Tom. That's the GOAT. 7-9.
He's the GOAT. And Tampa Bay has home field advantage for the first time in Super Bowl history. They have home field advantage. No other team has ever had home field advantage.
Like, if Mahomes managed to beat Tom Brady at home, the very first time in history where a Super Bowl team has home field advantage, that's crazy. That is
me personally. I feel like Patrick Mahomes is gonna pull it off. I like this game because it's a passing of the torch. Because Tom Brady is the greatest quarterback of all time. He's the greatest quarterback we have ever seen in our life, right?
Mm-hmm.
But Mahomes, he's there. You know, he's there. He's young. He's breaking all these records. He's 25. Has been to 2 Super Bowls. No one has done that. So, I mean, if he pulls this off, then it's like Tom Brady's like, all right, here you go. You'll be up there in the mountaintop with me in a couple years.
But look, here's the catch to that though, Trey. Mahomes, Mahomes both has lost 2 of his starting offensive tackles.
He did.
You know, so it's like now you got as a backup. Not only you have to realize you're playing in the Super Bowl, but now you have to register. I'm starting in the Super Bowl when I haven't started all year. I'm getting, and even if I did, even if one of these guys did manage to start a couple of games, they didn't have the type of minutes that they are going to have now. They're playing every snap. And even their backup has to take into account, okay, now I have to. I may even get in this game. Like now you're down to your third string at this point. If your starter gets hurt, you're down to your third string guy. You know what I'm saying? Like this is a big game, and that Buccaneer defense is relentless. So it's gonna be interesting to see what they do in what they do next week. I'm excited. Are you gonna watch the Pro Bowl this weekend?
No. Bro, they're not even playing football, bro. They're playing Madden. I'm not watching that, bro. I could play Madden myself.
That's the thing about like the All-Star, like the NBA versus like the NFL. Like the Pro Bowl is kind of like their All-Star game, but it's like nobody really cares. We really care about the game after that. Or like the All-Star weekend is a whole game.
Like on top of that, like a lot of the players who are selected to play in the Pro Bowl don't even play in the Pro Bowl. They're just like, you know what, I passed. Like, you know how many times Tom Brady has passed on playing in the Pro Bowl? He was just like, I'm not playing for anything. Yeah. So it's like it doesn't really mean anything. Like I was gonna say, like in the NBA, at least they do it in mid-season, so you don't really have an excuse, you know, not to participate. In the NFL, they could just be like, "Oh, I mean, the season's over. I mean, I'm tired, sore, I'm hurt. I don't want to play." They could just be like, "All right, cool."
It is what it is. But moving forward, recently there was a former Seahawk, Chad Wheeler, who abused his girlfriend, beat her just about to death. She was unconscious to the point where he was surprised that she recovered. Mm-hmm. The media, including ESPN and the Bleacher Report and a lot of other outlets, until I guess social media really got on them and said, "Hey, look, I need to say something." Did not say anything. Trey, what are your thoughts on that?
It's a sickening situation, what he did to his girlfriend and stuff. But I think what's even more sickening is the Seahawks' response to it. You know, they basically said, "Hey, you know, he was already a free agent, so we're not gonna re-sign him." But they were like, "Oh," the Seahawks basically said, "Oh, sad situation and stuff. We're not gonna re-sign him, but he needs to get some help. You know, I think that's all he needs is to get some help." I'm like, "What? He needs to get some. He needs to go to prison. He doesn't need help. He needs to go to prison." Talking about some, "Oh, he just needs some help." And they're talking about some football, concussions, all that CTE. I'm like, no, bro. He's a violent man who abuses women, and he needs to go to prison.
No, call him what he is. He's a thug. That's what he is. He's a menace. That's what he is. Those are the words they use to describe Ray Rice and Kareem Hunt. So if they have all of this energy for the athletes that look like Ray Rice and like Kareem Hunt, they need to have the same energy for Chad Wheeler, because Big Ben had a whole accusation, and I think they proved the fact that he was in there having a little fun like R. Kelly like to do, you know, and he's still out here taking snaps at quarterback.
They were like,
"Oh yeah, we ain't hear nothing about Ben." You know, it goes over their head. But Michael Vick out here allegedly fighting dogs, and they want to kick him out the league. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Like at the end of the day, the NFL has got to be more. It has to do a lot more.
They have to be more consistent with how they handle things.
Yeah,
because they have to be way more consistent. Because they just do it on a case-by-case basis. They need to have a. I mean, with certain situations, I understand being case by case because not everything applies. You can't apply a certain rubric to everybody, but like at the same time, it's like you can't have a substantial punishment for one guy like Ray Rice, and then just with another guy just be like, I mean, we'll suspend him for a season and he'll come back.
Yeah, because I mean, I guarantee you somebody's gonna try to sign this guy.
Yeah, probably like after maybe like a couple months, maybe a year, they'll be like, all right. I don't even know if he's a good player. I don't know if he's a starter or a depth player. I'm not sure.
This is what's gonna happen. This is what's gonna happen. They're gonna give it a couple months. They're gonna say, "Oh yeah." When people do start pointing out, say, "Hey, what's going on?" Like, "Oh, he went to therapy." They're gonna make some. They're gonna have. "Oh, he had a triple pass. His dad kicked his puppy as a 3-year-old, and ever since then he's been traumatized." You know how they love to paint this little picture of Vic. They like to make them the victim, even though they're the abuser. So, hey, you know, it only works for that one way though. You gotta reach a certain criteria. We all know what the criteria is, but you know, we don't want to get too deep into that. But moving forward, Deshaun Watson, Trey, your boy,
my boy.
They even hired a new coach. Like
That man, they hired a new coach, and he was like, "Okay, now that y'all hired a new coach, I'm out of here."
I mean, it's crazy because Shafty even said it there on the Get Up. He had demanded this months ago.
Oh yeah, he was done.
Demanded this months ago.
He was done.
He's like, they said he hadn't even talked to the new GM. He said I'm out of here. See you later.
Mm-hmm.
So it's interesting to see, like,
he said, "There's nothing you can do to change my mind. My mind has already been made up."
So now that it's official, he no longer wants to be there, and he does have the leverage to basically go where he wants to go. If you're Deshaun Watson, non-biasedly, what is the best place for you? Where is the best place for you to go?
New Orleans. By far, New Orleans.
Precisely. That's exactly what I was thinking. I was just like, because the thing with New Orleans, like, yeah, you have Michael Thomas, Emmanuel Sanders, Jared Cook. I mean, he did fumble the bag.
Alvin Kamara,
but like, I ain't even had to say him. I was gonna say we best for last. Like, bro, like it don't get no better than that type of offense. It just does not get better. I feel like now, granted, if he were to go to a team like the Dolphins or the Jets or maybe even the Giants or even Jacksonville, I feel like he would have more input on what he would want. Like, he could actually say, well, I want this guy. I want y'all to go to this guy or go for that guy. And that would, in a sense, would give him more of a customized offense, for lack of a better term.
I feel like the Saints would probably be his top choice too. But I think there's Saints have problems with cap space. And Deshaun has one of the richest deals in NFL history.
Yeah, and they still have Jameis Winston there too.
Yeah, so I mean, they're probably just gonna roll with Winston since he's a cheaper option.
Yeah, I mean, unless they were doing some NBA movements and they move some pieces around so that cap space will work.
And also, what you said earlier with Deshaun, if he goes to the team and he has more input, saying, "Hey, I want this guy. Hey, I want this guy." Honestly, I don't really think that's possible because you can't really build a super team in the NFL because there are too many players, and on top of that, a lot of players are going to go where the money is, right? Since football is a dangerous sport,
right?
You know, you want to go somewhere where you're financially secure, so you don't want to take a pay cut. It's basketball is different,
Yeah, but
so I mean, I feel like it would just be tougher if Deshaun be like, I don't know, like he wants Michael Thomas, right? Michael Thomas is a disgruntled receiver right now, right? He'd be like, okay, I want Michael Thomas, and Michael Thomas has to take a pay cut to join whatever team. He's gonna be like, I don't know if I want to do that. I play receiver. I get hit a lot,
but
I don't know if I want to take a pay cut.
The flip side of that, you have a team like the Dolphins who has the cap room to. Hey, Deshaun, we can probably try to get one or two guys that you want.
Mm-hmm.
Make a list and we'll do it our best we can.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, like, it really is play it by ear type of thing, but it is going to be interesting to see how these next couple of months go, to say the least.
The Dolphins are the top choice right now. Like not for him, because I think for him they said Jets, but like the Dolphins have the more desirable location. I think that's what they said.
Yeah, I mean, well, the Jets did just sign a new head coach. I feel like one thing to be apprehensive of with coming to Miami is offensive line. That's something to think about.
But the Jets are worse. The Jets are worse in every area.
Oh, absolutely. The Jets are absolutely worse. But at least you have your head coach.
The Dolphins have their head coach too.
But he likes this.
He likes Flores too.
He likes this head coach though. Like he likes
Flores too.
Like Richard Sherman is endorsing this guy. Like you got other guys. Like not saying the other guys don't endorse Flores. Not to take away from Flores because Flores is a great coach. But with the Giants, like I said, I don't want to see how you want to do that. But the Jets might be a better fit for him. He might like the Jets. I don't know. I wouldn't personally go to the Jets if I'm him. If I'm being completely honest, I'm either going to the Giants or I'm going to the Dolphins. I'm going to the Giants because they have Saquon Barkley and Evan Ingram. They have good pieces there. The Giants did not lose a lot of their games this year by a large margin. They lost within a couple, a touchdown or a field goal for the most part.
They played hard.
They played really hard. And with the Dolphins, you have the cap space to add more, and you have a young, promising team.
You have one of the best defenses in the league. That defense single-handedly won you 10 games.
You see what I'm saying? So it's like you can't get mad at that as a quarterback. So, I mean, like, at either rate, the ball is in Deshaun's court. It's just where he wants to play.
You can do whatever you want. Yeah. But moving on, we're going to venture out of bounds with this question. Now, I don't know much about this, but I figure you do, Noah. What are your thoughts on GameStop and AMC stock on the GameStop and AMC stock market frenzy?
Yeah, so I actually tried to invest in AMC this morning, and I noticed that the stock was already frozen. Like, I bought it. Mm-hmm. I want to say I bought it in at like 8 o'clock. About 9:20, and Robinhood pulled it. You say this stock is not supported by Robinhood. Nokia was blocked. GameStop was blocked. All that was blocked. I mean, at the end of the day, what happened to a free market? This is supposed to be something that we should be allowed to do. And I mean, if I don't see anything illegal wrong with it, I don't know where it necessarily is wrong. It is somebody did drop a meme with Big Bird sitting in a room full of businessmen saying like what GameStop looks like sitting at the table with Tesla and Apple.
I've seen that one.
But at the end of the day, you have to let things be. And you can't really try to shoot for that. When you trade in stocks, you can't expect the one day hit. It has to be long term. It's going to be a long term buy-in. But that AMC stock, the moment I made my purchase, I had a buying power of $5, and I just bought one share. So we'll have to see what our lovely government and
Noah's about to turn $5 into $55,000 overnight. Hey, he's gonna turn $55,000 into $500 million.
Hey, look, I'm about to be like the Forex guys.
You can get like me if you work hard. He said you can get like me if you work hard.
Right.
He said, tap in. Just tap in.
Tap in.
I'm telling you, get right. But it's about that time, folks.
I need you to defend this one for me.
It's about that time, folks. It's hot take time. My hot take of today is Juju Smith-Schuster of the Pittsburgh Steelers will sign with the Miami Dolphins. And let me explain why. The Steelers have a surplus of wide receivers. Deontay Johnson, I believe his name is. They have Chase Claypool. Mm-hmm. They have a bunch of good receivers. Juju Smith-Schuster is going to be the odd man out, especially since he's going to want a big deal. And the Dolphins have cap space. And the Dolphins need receivers. If the Dolphins end up, trade for Deshaun, end up giving all the way our first-round picks, we can't get Devontae Smith. That ship would have sailed. We don't have any first-round picks, so we're going to have to get into free agency. Sign Allen Robinson, sign Juju Smith-Schuster. Now you got two receivers. And you got the weapons for Deshaun. That's just my thought process. Noah, what's your hot take?
Boy, that was hot. I know that burnt your lips saying it, didn't it?
It sure did. I can't feel them right now.
So mine is that Justin Fields will slide to either the Carolina Panthers or the Detroit Lions this year in the draft. While watching the Get Up a couple days ago with Mel Kiper, he talked about his first mock draft. They had Fields sliding. They actually had Zach Wilson getting drafted above him, and him actually being the second quarterback off the board. While I don't necessarily agree that'd be the best thing for Jacksonville to do, I can see it happening. Zach Wilson did show a little bit more maturity, in my opinion, when it came down to his passing decisions, whereas Fields kind of struggled with that in his years. But at the end of the day, we're moving into a new age of the quarterback where you need a mobile quarterback. I mean, you can teach discipline. You cannot teach athleticism. at the end of the day. I've said this before on the show, and I'll stick with that. I'll live and die by that. I still feel like Justin Fields is the best quarterback on the board, in my opinion. But if he were to go to a team like Carolina, where they do have some weapons there, him and C-Mac could open up an option. Make a running like a quarter QB running back option runs, kind of something like what they do with Lamar in Baltimore. Or if he goes to the Lions because Matt Stafford wants out, that could be another thing that could happen or affect this draft. Only time will tell, but that's my hot take for the day. Trey, take us home.
All right, guys, that's it for today's show. Don't forget to like, follow, and subscribe to the Boca Raton Tribune on all social media platforms, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Just look for at Boca Tribune. You can also follow me. You can also follow the show on Instagram at _timeout7. Follow me on my personal Twitter at TreyAvant3. No.
Follow me on Instagram at oh my goodness. You can follow me on Instagram at ArcBuilderNoah. And follow me on Twitter at WhoBuildsArcs. I was gonna get it right one day.
Timeout airs every Thursday at 7 p.m. As always, this is the Avant Bros signing off.